Hello, yes, that's right. It's Joe here for Joyrider TV. And yes, that's right. September is upon us, which means here in Velocitek Bay, Greece, the September Speed Stick starts today. Oh yes, the September Speed Stick is actually where it all started with the speed competition. Sun God sunglasses. Check out the link. So I thought I'd come with a update video from the global speed stick competition where there has been some major developments. Stay tuned to the end to see if there is a new leader on the leaderboard. So in this update video, I'm just going to go through all of the new entries and anybody who's managed to notch it up since last time. So shall we steam in? Yes. So in 79th position on the speed stick, we have Uros sailing a Minicat 310. Now that is an inflatable catamaran in Slovenia with a speed of 9.1 knots, cooking the goose. In 78th, we have Brett in Antigua sailing a sunfish. Yes, monohulls are permitted on the speed stick, speed 9.56. In 77th, we've got Daniel sailing a Topcat K4X touring edition in Dunedin, Florida, USA, speed 11.6. Then in 76th position, we have Mike sailing with William. William is just aged 8 years old, probably the youngest sailor on the stick, sailing a Nacra Infusion Mark 1 Formula 18 catamaran. That is a serious piece of kit. On Lake Huron, Ontario, Canada, with a speed of 12.59 knots. Steaming it in there. In 75th position, we've got Steve sailing a Hobie Wave on Lake Washington, Minnesota, USA, speed 13.10. Then we're notching it up into 73rd, sailing a Dart 18, and this is in East London, cooking it in South Africa with a speed of 13.8 knots. Then in 71st, we've got Khalid sailing a Dart 18 single-handed in Kuwait with a speed of 13.93. Great stuff. The next new entry on the speed stick in 65th position is Philippe and Dries on a Hobie 16 with a speed of 14.77, and that is in Knock at the Royal Belgian Sailing Club in Belgium, would you believe? Very good stuff there, guys. 63rd, we have Torsten, who is sailing a Topcat K4X, second of these boats on the speed stick so far. Sailing on Lake Ahrtal, Germany, with a speed of 15.12. Oh yes, we're getting into some bigger numbers now. Then in 62nd, we've got Stefan, Stephanie and Oliver, 3 up on the Hobie 20 Miracle, sailing in Manitoba on Lake Winnipeg, Canada, with a speed of 15.3 knots. Great stuff. And then in 60th position, we've got Stefan sailing his Prindle 16, also in Canada, but this time on Lake St. Joseph, Quebec, speed 15.5. In 59th position, we've got Mandy and Matt sailing out of Seabrook, Texas, USA, on a Hobie 16 with a speed of 15.65. Very good. And then in 58th position, we don't have so many speeds coming from Velocitek Lefkos, Greece, because I think if we did, the whole speed stick would be littered with this venue. But in 58th, we've got James from the Wildwind team sailing a laser radial right here with a speed of 15.7. Now on a laser radial, that is remarkably quick. Cooking. Then in 56th, we've got Reg and Ash sailing a Hobie 16, again in East London, South Africa, with a speed of 16 16.22. Notching it up in 55th position, we've got Mike T sailing a Nacra Infusion Mark 1 Formula 18 catamaran on Lake Huron, Ontario, Canada, with a speed of 15.66. Then in 54th, we've got Gilham and Philippe on Lake Léman, France, with a speed of 16.71, sailing a Cirrus B1 F18. There are some serious boats on the speed stick. You guys are absolutely sending it. Then in 53rd, and notching it up from previous speed, we have Oliver sailing a Topcat K2 single-handed with a speed of 16.73. Now this is on Bad Schwischenacher Meer, Germany. Yes, that's how it's pronounced, in case anybody was wondering. Then in 50th, we have Pierre, Audrey, Ann and Matthew. Yes, that is 4 up on a Hobie Tiger, sailing on Lake St. Joseph, Quebec, Canada, with a speed of 16.94. Have you got a faster speed 4 up on a catamaran? If you have, of course, we need to know about it, so get it on the stick. Then in 47th position, we've got Francois sailing a Hobie 16 solo on Lac des Chênes, Quebec, Canada, with a speed of 17.3 knots. Then we're going for another 3 up in 46th on a Hobie 16, sailing out of Deal, New Jersey, USA. We've got Brett, Isaac and Paolo having a great time, hitting 17.31. We are loading our boats up today. Yes, we are. Then in 43rd position, we've got Rob Evans sailing solo on a Hobie 16, Hemlock Lake, Michigan, USA, speed 17.4 knots. Very nice indeed. Anything in this region on a 16 solo is really cranking. Then in 42nd, we've got Robbie and Arthur sailing a Hobie 20, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, USA, speed 17.55. Cooking some shrimp. Then in 41st position, we've got Wolf sailing a birdie fish on Markelberger See, Germany, with a speed of 17.66. The birdie fish is a foiling mono hull. Very quick and quite stable. Good choice. Then notching it up into 37th, we've got Rich and Eric sailing a Hobie 18 on Lake Quinault, Washington, USA, speed 18.16. Now this is quite unusual. In 36th position, we've got Jay sailing with the same Eric on Lake Quinault, Washington, USA, speed 18.16. So this is the same boat, the same crew, but 2 different helms, same speed. Then in 33rd position, we've got Tobias and Emmanuel sailing a Topcat K2X. Loads of Topcat K2Xs on the speed stick. Maybe next year we'll do a K2X challenge. Oh yes, maybe we will. This is sailing on Lake Zülpicher See, near to Cologne, Germany, with a speed of 18.36. Then in 32nd position, notching it up for Dane and Chris, sailing a Nacra 5.8, Galveston Bay, Texas, USA, speed 18.42. Then we're notching it up. We've got Tim and Randy sailing a Taipan 4.9 on Arcabutla Lake, Hernando, Mississippi, USA, with a speed 18.6. Then in 30th position, it's Max and Evie sailing a Hobie Pacific right here, Vasiliki Bay, Lefkas, Greece, with a speed of 18.6. Cooking. And then fresh in, we have the mighty Swede, Anders, sailing his Hobie 16 solo in Skaldurviken, Sweden with a speed of 18.6. That is really sending it. Great job, Anders. Then in 28th, also solo on a Hobie 16, also really sending it. This time in Chesapeake Bay, Baltimore, USA, we've got Matt with a speed of 18.8. Then notching it up in 26th for Paolo and Chris on a Hobie 16 in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, USA, speed 19.1. We are getting serious now. Then in 25th for Johan and Karina on a Hobie Wildcat Formula 18 catamaran, sailing in Versmeer, Holland, 19.1. Then in 23rd position, we've got Ed and Abby sailing a Hobie Tiger right here in Vasiliki, Lefkas, Greece, with a speed of 19.2. In 19th position, we've got Kev and Angus on a Hobie 16, also in Vasiliki, Lefkas, Greece. What is going on? This place is delivering some good speeds. Speed of 20.2 there. And then sailing the Nacra Infusion Formula 18 catamaran, Lake Garda, Italy, 17th position for Cuba and Italy with a speed of 20.26. We are continuing to notch it up here. In 16th position, we've got Jochen and Liv on a Hobie 18 Magnum. The Magnum is the Hobie 18 with wings, on Lake Garda, Italy as well, with a speed of 20.3. Lake Garda, Italy is a fast place to go sailing. Then in 15th place, we've got Wayne and Troy on a Dart 18, sailing in East London, South Africa, speed 20.5, very nice. Then in 14th position, sailing a Tornado, fantastic. If you hadn't noticed, it's been Tornado season here on Joyrider TV of late. We've got Norbert and Ingmar sailing on the Baltic Sea at Lübeck, Germany, with a speed of 20.52. Now we are seriously notching it up, and we are in the top 10. Oh yes, we are. In 8th position, improving on a previous speed, we've got James sailing on Alton Water, Ipswich, England, on a Wasp. That is a foiling monohull with a speed of 22 knots. Absolutely sending it in 8th position. Then in 7th position on an A-class, now that is a foiling single-handed catamaran, we've got Andreas sailing in Berlin, Germany with a speed of 22.1. In 4th position, we've got Philip and Carol sailing a Nacra Evolution Formula 18 catamaran, cutting edge stuff, on Markelmeer, Holland, 22.6 knots. Does this stick get any faster? You know it does. Who's in first place? Stay tuned. In 3rd position, we've got Thomas and Juan sailing a Hobie 16 in Sotogrande, Spain, 23 knots. If you've ever been at 23 knots, you know that that is absolutely cooking. Well done, guys. There's still time to see if she's got any more to give. I think so. And now, truly remarkable, in 2nd place, we have got on a Hobie 16 solo, sailing on Cultus Lake, Oregon, USA, dropping it in the slot. We've got Scott with a speed of 23.72. And then in 1st place, still leading the global speed stick leaderboard, we've got David and Nick sailing a Hobie 16 on Bodensee, Lake Constance, Switzerland, with a speed of 25.3 knots. That is absolutely flying. Now, you may be wondering, what about the Hobie Getaway Challenge? Who's the current leader? Well, if you didn't know, I have also got the Hobie Getaway Challenge going on, where the fastest Hobie Getaway of the year will be receiving as a prize a Melcheski Composites Pro Joyrider telescopic tiller extension. Oh yes, that is some very nice steering. Check out the link in the description below if you want to see what one of those looks like or even get one. But currently leading in the Getaway Challenge, and overall it's in 20th position, which for a getaway, that is some serious stuff. We've got Declan sailing in Dreviken, Stockholm, Sweden, with a speed of 19.9. Yes, Declan is rocking some absolute bad boy whirlwind sails on his getaway. Does that make him faster? There is a slim chance. But leading the Getaway Challenge. Have you got a getaway? Can you get out on a getaway? Get on a getaway and see what you can do. Get on the stick on a getaway. All right, so there we go. Get involved. All the information is in the description below, and I'll see you soon with some more on Joyrider TV. Thank you very much.